Hello dear learners, this is Dr. Sedhu, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science from Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Dear learners, now we are going to discuss about how C programs can be compiled and executed. Agenda for the discussion will be compilation process, writing the program, compiling the program, assembling, creating object code and linking, execution of the program and debugging the program. See, now the first process will be compilation. Actually the source file is taken into preprocessor is the first stage. After preprocess the file, compiler is taking the source code which converts the source code into assembly code, and again assembler takes the assembly code and converts it into object code, and again object code is linked to execute the final code as executable file. The compilation is the process of converting the source code of the C program into machine code. As C is a mid-level language, it needs a compiler to convert it into an executable code so that the program can be run on our computer machine. As the first step in the process is writing the C program. First, you need to write a program using any text editor and save it with a .c extension, as programming language C's file extension is .c. This file is actually called source file or source code. For example, create a file named with program1.c. And the second step in the process is compilation of the program. The compiler checks the code for syntax and semantic errors and translates it into lower level language, typically assembly language, and then into machine code. If there are errors, the compiler will report them and you need to fix these errors before recompiling. And the assembling processing translates the high level C code into assembly language, which is then translated into machine code or also called object code by the assembler. The next step is creating object code. The assembler converts the assembly code into object code, which is stored in a file with a .o extension. And this is typically handled automatically by the C compiler. Step 5 will be linking. Linking is the process of combining your object code with other object code files and libraries to produce the final executable file. This includes linking standard libraries like standard input output and common input output used in the example programs. The final stage is executing the program. For execution, run the compiled program from the command line or from editor command. Once the program is executed, the users can able to see the output. Depends on the program. If the program requires input from users can able to give input, and after processing the input, program will give you output. Next stage is debugging stage. If the program does not produce the desired output or crashes, you need to debug the program. This involves checking the logic of the program or any logical mistakes or corrections in the program, and possibly using debugging tools. Dear users, here is the simple program for adding two numbers. There is a header file which contains the standard input output library functions and a main function and a declaration part which contains three variables of integer type, and there is a single line command prompt the user to enter two numbers which instruct the user, and from this line users can able to understand that there we should need to give two values as input. The printf line asks or informs the users to enter first number, and the scanf line gets the first value, and again the printf statement asks the users to enter second number. Scanf line receives input for the second variable as integer, and the next line is sum equal to number 1 plus number 2. From this line the two values are added and assign the resultant to the variable sum, and then there is a command line, and finally the output is printed by using the printf output statement, and return 0 statement is used since the main function is of int type. This is simple C example program. Thank you my dear learners for patient listening. I would like to see you in future with some other interesting topics. Thank you once again.